The first thing, why not we give a very big applause to what Doladis and team have performed this morning. It's, every single day it has been growing and growing. It is just not so easy. And the COI members, I was just counting on the number of rows they occupied on the right-hand side as well as the left-hand side. We are just only left out with 3 or 4 more rows to go all the way to the end. I think it might happen, that is in the coming months. And of course, maybe next year when we celebrate our 5th anniversary, possibly. Thanks a lot for wonderful, that is bringing up and creating an energy and positive vibration. And after having a good food and what all of this did this morning and the team did is not sufficient for us. Now we are here with the wonderful performance. Here the next wonderful performance from Parampara School of Music, which is based in Connecticut, is an institute that carries forward the rich tradition of Indian music in a land far from its origin, nurturing new roots among our communities and the next generation. Founded by our own Kasturi Sangunia, and the school provides vocal training in Indian classical, Rabindra Sangeet, and folk music. Kasturi herself is a well-known singer and has been trained under stalwart gurus. Parampara School of Music is affiliated with the Sarabharatiya Sangeet O Sankriti Parishad, an internationally recognized performing arts examination board. This affiliation gives students the opportunity to follow a structured curriculum and earn diplomas ranging from junior diploma to Sangeet Visharad and beyond across multiple genres of Indian music. Today, Parampara students, there are about 15 plus students supported by this wonderful band that we will appreciate at the end. How are they going to do an outstanding supporting support. They are going to present their song offerings to our Almighty as an expression of devotion, tradition, and the joy of learning. And welcome, and we are so blessed to hear the performance, all of us. Thank you.
Pronomi Tomari. On the auspicious morning of Mahalaya, as the sun rises, the message of the goddess's arrival rings throughout the sky and air. And that message resonates in everyone's mind and soul. We want to share that joy with everyone, unite with the creations throughout the universe.
মলের কাছের থেকে বাজাও, তুমি অনেক পেঁচিয়ে যাচ্ছ। বাড়াচ্ছি। বাজাও, মলয় বাজাও।
এখানে নেই
ঠিক আছে হ্যাঁ
প্রাণের মাঝে থেকে যেখানে থাকি যেখানে মন আছে প্রাণে প্রাণে যেখানে থাকি যেখানে মন আছে প্রাণে প্রাণে
অনেক পেঁচিয়ে বাজাচ্ছে, আমি কি করি? সবকিছু আমার সাথে সব গলাচ্ছে, সব গলাচ্ছে।
সাধন ফলে ফিরেছি আজ নলে নলে কতদিনের সাধন ফলে ফিরেছি আজ নলে নলে আজ ভোরের ছেলে সবাই মিলে দেখা দিলে আনলে মনে আজ ভোরের ছেলে সবাই মিলে দেখা দিলে আনলে While walking on the paths of life, we often forget her and get entangled in the net of our mundane life, senselessly follow the illusions of greed, desire, and power. তোমার কথা কেহ বলে না করে শুনেছি তোমার কথা কেহ বলে না করে শুনেছি বসিয়া মনে করে তোমার কথা
লিখ দিচ্ছি লিখ দিচ্ছি ফাঁকায় ঘুমাতে গেল
Who is this Mahadevi who is manifested in everything in this universe? She is the original creator, the primal power that transcends space and time, ageless, endless, infinite. Her glory pervades all her creation. We invoke her in our life.
কথা বললে হচ্ছে ইউটিউবে
শক্তি তুমি ভগবতী মহাকালী মহাসরস্বতী মহালক্ষ্মী তুমি ভগবতী তুমি বেদ মাতা তুমি গায়ত্রী তুমি বেদ মাতা তুমি গায়ত্রী কুমারী বালিকা মহাবিদ্যা আদ্যাশক্তি মহাবিদ্যা আদ্যাশক্তি পরমেশ্বরী বালিকা মায়া অপমায়ায় সৃষ্টি করিয়া করিতেছ সমুদ্রে মায়া অপমায়ায় সৃষ্টি করিয়া করিতেছ সমুদ্রে অচিন্ত পরমাত্মা রূপিণী চরাচর প্রসবিনী অচিন্ত পরমাত্মা রূপিণী চরাচর প্রসবিনী নমস্তে 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 শিবে অশুভ নাশিনী নমস্তে শিবে অশুভ নাশিনী সারা মঙ্গল সাধিকা মহাবিদ্যা আদ্যাশক্তি মহাবিদ্যা আদ্যাশক্তি পরমেশ্বরী কালিকা মহাবিদ্যা আদ্যাশক্তি মহাবিদ্যা আদ্যাশক্তি পরমেশ্বরী কালিকা পরমেশ্বরী কালিকা পরমেশ্বরী কালিকা
Lost in our way of life, drowned in our sorrows and burdens, we reach out to this eternal friend. Pray to her to stay with us at all times. Give us strength, protect us from weakness and decay.
চিরসখা ছেড়ো না। এক মিনিট, কিছু একটা জি-শার্ট পরেছো? হ্যাঁ, জি-শার্ট পরেছো? তারপরে জি-শার্ট পাচ্ছি আমার যারা করছে একটু কমিয়ে দাও, তাহলে একটু কমিয়ে দাও তাহলে। চিরসখা ছেড়ো কিছু সরি ছেড়ো এটা আমি এমনি তারপরে দিচ্ছি, একটু অসুবিধা হয়ে যাচ্ছে সরি। চিরসখা ছেড়ো না। মোরে ছেড়ো না। সংসার বহরে নির্ভর নির্জন স্বজনে সঙ্গে রহ। চিরসখা ছেড়ো না মোরে, ছেড়ো অধনের অধন অনাথের নাথ হে অমলের অধনের ধন হে অধনের অধন অনাথের নাথ অমলের জরা ভারা তোরে নবীন করো হে সুধা সাগর চিরসখা ছেড়ো না মোরে, ছেড়ো
But she does not leave us, because she is the eternal being who resides within all of us. She is the intimate one dwelling in our soul as the supreme consciousness. And as stated in this last song of the program, we see that inner self not just within us, but in everyone around us.
ব্যাগে দেখো, ব্যাগে দেখো, ব্যাগে বাসটা আছে। মানুষ আছে কানে চাই চাই সকল পানে, প্রাণের মানুষ আছে কানে চাই চাই সকল পানে। আছে সে নয়ন তারায়, আছে সে নয়ন তারায়, আলো হারায় তাই না হারায়।
Me for quite some time. Given the situation of the world today, what we are seeing around war, fight, political polarization, unrest, mistrust, all of this around, what the devotees of Vedanta can do, or more generally, what a devotee, what a spiritual aspirant, a sadhak can do under these circumstances. Whenever we think about problems like these, the first thing that comes to our mind is, can we do some activism? Can we take part in some protest? Can we be part of a movement to solve the problems of the society? But at the same time, we know that it is not possible for us to take part in every protest, to take part in every movement, or start something to solve the problems that we are seeing around. What can we do about what is going on around us? When we think about that, to solve the problem, we have to join a protest, we have to start a movement, we have to do something outside and scale it up. Scale it. I call it the startup mind. Those who are associated with startup, I am from Sacramento, California, near Silicon Valley, and I very often interact with startup people. I'm interested into. And the idea that is in their mind is, here is an idea, how to scale it up to help the whole world. And for that, I need investment, money. That is good, not bad. Good. You have a good idea, implement it, solve the problems of the world. But guess what? 99% of the startups fail. They fail. 99% of the startups. Why? Because they don't give enough attention to the startup itself. They're so much interested in scaling and in getting the seed money and the investment and then going launching an IPO, coming to the NASDAQ, S&P, that they forget to look about the help of the startup itself. That's why I was thinking, what devotees of Vedanta or sadhaka in general can do about it. Can we do something for our spiritual life, which really make us spiritually grow, at the same time solve the problems of the society? I'm sure you are thinking of karma yoga, right? No, I'm not walking that path today. Last month, there was an article in Scientific American. I'm an avid fan of Scientific American. Every day I read what the new article has come. So 1 month ago, one article came. The heading itself, if I tell you the heading, you will say, it sounds true. The heading of the article was the benefits of meditation goes beyond the meditator. The benefit of meditation goes beyond the meditator. Take some time to absorb it. But the article, I read the article, and Scientific American always writes popular. And then what I do, I go to the original article, find out the original scientific paper, which takes me another paper. I end up reading too many papers. But that's my habit. So three German scientists, they wanted to understand what the social benefits of meditation is. What are the benefits of meditation in the society? So they did a meta-analysis of more than 100 research on meditation. You should know, because you are in New England, that most of the meditation research in the whole world have happened here, New England. And it has happened in 4 waves. In the beginning, from 1970 to 1980, there was John Kabat-Zinn, mindfulness. He brought mindfulness and showed mindfulness really helps us to reduce our anxiety, stress, and give us relaxation. He proved it scientifically. Next wave came to show the neural correlates of meditation. As we are meditating, what is happening in our brain, how the brain is changing. There's a groundbreaking book by Daniel Goleman, Altered Traits. In that book, he and his friend, another contemplative neuroscientist, they try to show that meditation changes us permanently. Meditation is not only a state, meditation alters our traits. What is state of meditation? Joy, relaxation, ease. They are not only state, they become trait. State become trait. They have shown it in their labs. Harvard University, Brown University, University of Wisconsin-Madison campus, all of them are now doing cutting-edge research on meditation. That was the second wave. Third wave of meditation is also again led by Brown University and Harvard University. They wanted to see what happens to our brain when really we go to the higher states of meditation. Even Nirodha, that is complete cessation of mind, they are now studying with their 7 Tesla MRI models. Then the fourth wave of research is how meditation is helping others. That is, if I meditate, does the society get benefit from it? Or it is just a personal pursuit? Or is it just a escapism from the problems of the world? No. It is is not. What they did, they took two groups of doctors in a busy hospital and trained one group of doctors for 6 weeks on loving kindness meditation. 50 minutes a week, 50 minutes a week, 8 weeks. What they found is profound between the two sets of doctors. Doctors who were trained into meditation, they found these doctors were now much more comfortable in communicating to the patients their problems. The doctors have a communication anxiety when the problem is really serious. They don't know how to communicate. After this meditation, they found doctors are much more comfortable in talking to the patients. Not only that, these doctors started liking their job as a calling, not as a career. They found much more meaning from the practice. Third, they found these doctors were practicing less of defensive medicine. You know, there's defensive medicine practice, that is, don't sue me, don't sue me, I'll take the defensive path. They saw the doctors who were trained in meditation only 8 weeks, 50 minutes a week. They found the doctors were much more agreeable to go beyond defensive medicine. And not only that, the nurses and other hospital staff started feeling much more comfortable around these doctors because they kind of started radiating a kind of peace, joy, and greater interpersonal relationship. So the point is, one person, if they remain calm under stress, if one person shows compassion in dealing with people, even problematic people, challenging people, if we can remain calm, relaxed, and spacious in dealing with challenging people, difficult people, and show grace in dealing with them, that inspires, that influences, that has positive impact on people around us. So one person's meditation makes that person calm, good at interpersonal relationship, good at compassion, feeling empathy for others. That in turn inspires others around them. It is called social ripple effect. Social ripple effect. So when we are thinking, what are we doing meditating here? So many problems around. We have to think that if I become a better person by meditating, then the effect will be all around us. You want to show proof? You want to see proof? Look here. We, the monks, the nuns, we left everything. Why? Because we came in contact with such people who, by the power of meditation, they could achieve a state of calm and peace and compassion, feeling for others, which influenced 1 or 2% like us. In turn, probably we are also influencing others. You have seen a great soul like Swahanandaji. His presence mattered. His presence itself told many things. It calmed down so many people. They became better people. And these people, with their peace of mind, with peace. And if you see a model like this, unconsciously, we start also emulating them. We also show a little bit of peace and calm and grace and wisdom and generosity in dealing with others. That is called social ripple effect. social ripple effect. In Vivekachudamani, there is a wonderful verse. What happens when we meditate? We transform ourselves. What happens? Santa, what is this? Santa Mahanta Nivasanti Santoho Basantavat Loka Hitam Charanta. There are some people, Shanta, quiet. What is the secret of this quietness? Where did it come? Years of meditation, years of daily meditation. Mahanta, they become generous by meditation. How does it happen? How does it happen? When we meditate daily, we try to meditate daily. What happens is we try to meditate and we wrestle with our mind. So many thoughts and so many thoughts. It's better not to meditate, right? One good thing, the meta-analysis, the study that I referred to in the beginning, which was conducted by the 3 scientists from Max Planck Institute of Germany, they found that although meditation positively affects people from all walks of life, nobody liked meditation itself. Meditation itself is a struggle. But they found out the struggle is just like building our muscles. If we just lie down, so joy. Who goes to gym? Who goes to gym to lift weights? Is it such a fun? Not for all. In the beginning, it's not a fun at all. So when we are meditating, actually, we are strengthening our calmness muscles, compassion muscles. And when we do that, we try to wrestle with our minds. What happens is we try seeing our shadows. There are good things in every one of us, not so good things. Those are called shadows. Carl Jung said shadows. We want to hide them. But when we sit for meditation, like demons, they come up. And if we continue to face our shadow, what happens? We stop being judgmental about others. We see that all of us have some destructive habits, patterns, conditioning, which worked at some time. Now it's not working anymore. But still, we are holding on to those patterns, those false identities, false egos. These come to our light. Then the natural response is we stop being judgmental about others. I have one problem, maybe I am too anxious, and then I see such a thing. I have this anxiety, which makes me do things later I regret. And then I become really, really empathetic about others who are suffering from not maybe anxiety, but from other problems like manipulation. People, among all the people, we don't like manipulative people, right? Manipulative people nobody likes. But manipulative people are also actually are the victim of some pattern. Why I am telling about manipulative people? Because I was comfortable with all type of people except manipulative people. Then gradually I found it's not the proper response to manipulative people even is compassion. They are actually also going through a trouble. So the best way is not to get manipulated by them, but to have compassion for them. This is the social ripple effect of meditation. And when we meditate, when we try to understand our others' problems, what happens? The distance between I and you, gradually, the boundary gets softer. And we feel more at one with others. that you have seen. You have seen in Swahanandaji and people like that, those who can instantly connect with people. How? How? If you look at it, at the basis, at the root of all of this is his sadhana, his meditation, not 1 day or 2 days or 3 days, but years of meditation. Years of meditation. So the question I started with was what devotees can do in changing the world, changing suffering of others, reducing the pain and anxieties of others, is change ourselves by meditation. This also answers the one most important question or most frequent question we get: Swami, we don't get joy in meditation. Why? Because when we started meditating, we are not seeking joy. We are seeking something higher. And then when we got joy in meditation, our focus shifted to getting joy. Joy, peace, relaxation, remember, these are byproducts of meditation. Byproducts of meditation. When we target joy, peace, relaxation from meditation, we get neither joy nor anything else. So, why these two are related? That if we meditate with the idea that we are meditating not for only us, but for the whole world, for the good of many people. And in Buddhism, this is called the Bodhisattva ideal. Bodhisattva, that I am sitting here, meditating here, not only for my joy, but also for the joy, for the good of the whole world. And it has been found in scientific studies that even benefits of mindfulness cannot be found if somebody seeks or wants relaxation from it. But if somebody wants to know about themselves or some higher goal like the benefit of all or knowing myself in depth, the result comes as joy and peace. So, friends, many of the problems that we have in community life when we come together is because we don't meditate. We don't meditate enough, or we don't meditate well enough. We start, we stop, we start, we stop, we don't get the benefits. So, startup mind says, let me do this, build this up, being a lot of people. That is not bad, that is good, but that should not be the primary goal of our spiritual life. Our spiritual life is to transform ourselves, become a better person, and rest of the things you will see fall in line. When we have peace in our mind, when we know our problems, when we know that we have separate ideas, these are all superficial, but actually at spiritual level we are connected, which we get to know so directly in meditation, then we'll find that the differences among us, the disagreement, the different ways of thinking, all of these are very secondary, very secondary. The real is transforming ourselves, becoming a better person ourselves with meditation. So that is what I say, an enlightened mind. From startup mind to an enlightened mind. So the essence of my talk is meditation is not only for us. The benefits of meditations goes all around us, all around us. One of us, like a light, like a small lamp, may not get 1,000 or 1 million followers in Instagram by meditating. And we may think we are not influencing enough. But If we can become a better person by meditating, then probably we can inspire 2 or 3 people around us silently. Silently. That is the social ripple effect of meditation. That's my talk, and I have some time left. What I will do today is I will not take questions. I will take questions later on. I will guide you for 10 minutes in a guided meditation. All of us can do it, whether you are advanced or for the first time. We can do this meditation every day. We can do and see the benefits ourselves. Okay, this is called loving kindness meditation. Okay, the meditation that the doctors were taught, which made them better doctor. Let's do it. Ready? Sounds good? Okay, I will take the questions later on. I am not escaping questions. Okay. Sit comfortably wherever you are sitting. Try to keep your back straight. But not tight. Let your shoulders be relaxed. Let it droop. Loosen your jaws. And gently close your eyes. Try to feel the chair you are sitting on. The contact between your body and the chair. Take 3 slow and deep breaths. Now come back to your normal breathing. Now, without trying to change your breathing, just try to observe your breaths. Try to feel the cold in breath and the warm out breath. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back and try to watch your breath. Now, mentally repeat the 3 affirmations, each one at a time. May I be safe. May I be healthy. May I live at ease. Imagine a warm light in your heart, illuminating your inner world. Now, think of your most favorite person in the world. Imagine their face vividly, as if they are in front of you. Mentally whisper, may you be safe. May you be healthy. May you live at peace. try to feel the connection between the two hearts. Now, expand your heart. Make it large and generous. Accommodate in your heart your friends, all the strangers that you met today, all the people in this temple, and all the people that you will meet in future. Pack them all in your large, infinite heart. Imagine waves of compassion is flowing across the whole Connecticut and even beyond. Tell all the people who are in your heart, may you be safe. May all of you be healthy. May all of you live at ease. Try to feel the compassion for all, including your own self. Pray that all of us be free from sufferings. Let all be happy, which makes you happy. Now take one deep breath. Gently open your eyes. Let's chant together, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto all. Thank you. Welcome to Jnana Yoga. Next talk.
Listening to Swami's talk, I suddenly feel very old. See his youth and his enthusiasm and fresh ideas. I'm feeling like yesterday's news. The topics that we chose were based on the fact that there would be 4 speakers. The idea was that each one will do one of the 4 yogas. Swami Sarvadevananda, couldn't come. And I simply said, let the others choose, and then whatever is left, I'll do. So I got left with Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga, these 2. So I'm thinking, is this some random selection process, or is there any connection how to form a talk based on these 2 different yogas, which traditionally have been a little bit of a clash between them, and which traditionally have been very confusing to people, and there are a lot of different opinions. Can we combine them? Does one go first? Does one follow? When we read the Bhagavad Gita, we find that Arjuna is constantly getting confused. He accuses Sri Krishna of using confusing terms. Vyamishvarena Vakyena. He says, yes, now I don't know what to believe. First you're saying performance of action, then you say renunciation of action. And then we have this idea that Karma Yoga, what is the purpose of Karma Yoga? Only preliminary. Karma Yoga is meant for this Chitta Shuddhi, for purification of the heart, is meant to eliminate the sense of I, the sense of ego. And then we switch to the next stage. So we have this 2-tiered theory that we find, that, for example, in Gita, most of this will be about Gita because it's such a nice text about this Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga and everything, that we have a 2-tier theory, that we reach a certain level. There's this yoga arukshu, those who, they want to reach a certain plane. So how do they do it? Karma uchyate. So we have to work first self-effort. We have to work very hard. And then we reach a certain plane where somehow we can switch gears a little bit. That if we want to look at it in terms of first we have self-effort and then we have self-surrender, or if we want to look at it that we reach a stage where we no longer feel that we're the actor, the ego starts to get sublimated, but we haven't reached the ultimate goal. Then what do? Shama karana muchyate. Then we practice this quietude. And if we want to say that the first is Karma Yoga, second is Jnana Yoga, we can understand it that way. Now, Sri Krishna, he likes this 2-tier idea. We find this in many things. First of all, as I said, self-effort and then self-surrender. That if we look at his example of the bird on the mast of the ship, the bird has to fly in every direction, has to get tired out, has to realize it has to rely on grace, something like that. And then it'll have the second level where it'll say, now I know that it's limited what I can do. Wherever the ship takes me, it'll take me, and I can practice this type of reliance on God, self-surrender and everything. So he explained it that way. Then we have this other idea, first Vaidhi Bhakti, and then Anuraga. So first we have to follow all the different rules and regulations and how much japa we do, what time we wake up, follow everything like that, until we reach a certain quantitative, qualitative to shift, some quantum leap, some shift takes place where we no longer have to stick to any firm routine or anything because automatically we think of God all of the time. That something has shifted in us, that it becomes very natural and spontaneous. Now, how do we decide when that comes? We don't decide. Things fall off. This is the way Sri Krishna said, they fall off. Or Divine Mother will take care of it. She gives a very nice example that the daughter-in-law, when she becomes pregnant, that the mother-in-law will lessen her duties one by one till the month comes, till it comes to the time to give birth to the child. That last month, she has nothing to do. Just take care of her health and everything. Then she gives birth to the child, and then she also is relieved of her duties for a while. She has to simply look after the child. So we have these different levels and these different stages that we can understand. That first we do this karma yoga, and the goal from this point of view, the goal is to go beyond karma. So this Arjuna, first of all, he's confused. You're telling me to fight in this battle, and at the same time, you're recommending that the ultimate goal is to go beyond karma, beyond action and everything. So Sri Krishna says, yeah, but no one reaches the stage of nice karma siddhi, where we can give up everything without going through doing this in karma yoga. So we have to put forth all types of effort and everything. So we get this type of idea, these two different levels we can say. First we do karma yoga, and then there's jnana yoga. Now jnana yoga is always associated somehow with renunciation. This is a very standard, typical thing. Even if we look at the way the Vedas are structured, that we have the karma kanda, and that'll correspond to even the householder stage of life. Then when we get to this jnana kanda, and especially Upanishads, somehow it's connected with this life of renunciation. Yeah. So there's a very standard type of thing that, so who is qualified to practice this jnana yoga? So these questions come up. And we look at the whole framework of Gita. Everything is dharma, everything is action until the very end. Then everything is give up all of these things, this vaidhi. Give up all of that and surrender to me. So we have this idea, these two tiers. This is very standard type of thing. Shankaracharya is very insistent that don't try to combine these two things. There's actually, this is something that most people don't know. I only know because I had a professor who was a real egghead, like the scholarly types of things, that there was probably a commentary on Gita before Shankaracharya, and this was called Jnana Karma Samuchaya Vada. This is a doctrine that somebody said, do both at the same time. You can even do your Vedic ritual and at the same time, neti. So Shankaracharya, he said, no, this won't work. You have to finish what you have to do first, and then you can practice this Jnana Yoga or Raja Yoga or whatever it is. Now, go back to Gita, because we do get mixed messages. So Arjuna has every right to complain to Sri Krishna, just like all of Swamiji's brother disciples complained about him. Today you say one thing, tomorrow you say the next thing. One day you say Bhakti Yoga is everything, and the next day you say, no, you're only worshiping your own self. What do we believe? So we have to see context and everything. But then we'll get to this idea, a very beautiful idea, that Sankhya and Yoga, these are the terms that are used in Gita. The Sankhya will refer to theory or Jnana Yoga. And Yoga here in this context will refer to putting it into practice or Karma Yoga. So he says this Sankhya Yoga, these two things, Pratak Bala, children say that they're separate. That the wise person will understand that we're making a kind of false distinction. That we actually, they need each other. If we look at Karma Yoga doesn't stand on its own. there's no real, what is karma yoga if there's not some theory behind it, if there's not some idea behind it, or some devotion behind it. So the karma yoga, it needs either jnana or bhakti. See, Swamiji, he made a very beautiful statement that a bird cannot fly on one wing, it needs two wings. What are the two wings? Jnana and bhakti. And what is the tail? Raja yoga, meditation. So where is karma yoga? Karma yoga is only putting everything into practice. This karma yoga is putting it into practice. So either we're devotional and our karma yoga is everything is an offering to God. Everything is an offering to God. This is one type. But the real beauty of this combining jnana yoga with karma yoga is to really, through discrimination, through this faculty of analysis, to ask ourselves, who was the one performing the action? Now, this Sankhya, it means this theoretical thing, but sometimes it refers to the Sankhya philosophy also. So if we look at the type of jnana yoga that is emphasized to a great extent in Gita, that it has to do with this idea of who is the agent of action. See, Gita is equally split. There's one type of karma yoga that says, don't bother me with philosophy. I love God. I want to do everything as an offering to God. I want to think of myself as a servant of God. This is my karma yoga. Don't bother me with anything else. Other types, a highly philosophical idea that who is the performer of action? Analyze, try to find this ego, try to find this I. Now, Sri Ramakrishna, everybody knows the example of the onion, that he uses it in two different ways. Sometimes he says, you peel everything off, you want to find that where's the real self within, you'll find that the infinite absolute reality. Other times he says, look for this ego itself. You peel off all the outer layers of the onion. That means the body, the mind, the senses, all the different koshas, and you won't find anything inside. There's no substance to this ego. Now, Sri Ramakrishna says that for most people, this is a very temporary thing. This sense of I, it comes right back. He says you analyze 1,000 times, there's no substance, but it comes back, this feeling of I. But this Sankhya system and the type of karma yoga that we do there involves really looking upon all action as a play between the internal gunas and external gunas. Guna gunesha vartante. This beautiful phrase that it's just external things are coming in through the senses. They're going to the mind. The mind will sort things out a little bit and then say to buddhi, now what do? It goes to the buddhi, and the buddhi says, no, this is how you should react. Goes back to the mind, and goes back to the external senses, and the action gets performed that way. So where's the I in all of this? So it analyzes that way, that action is just this play between the internal gunas and external gunas. And of course, in the Vedanta, of course, this I is, I am the witness of everything. I am the witness, I am not involved. I'm like, now, do we like this idea? Anybody? What else?
I was lost.
Lost? Too mechanical for me, a little bit. No, he said abstract, I said mechanical. Yeah. See, it's a type of behaviorism, really, a little bit. But we can understand the beauty of this by looking at a very typical, say, driving a car. It's all automatic. Everything is automatic. Does anybody decide how fast we're going and the curvature and how much we turn the wheel? After a while, it's absolutely automatic. And it happens to me. We can be driving several blocks and say, wow, I was daydreaming who was driving the car at that time, right? Yeah. So this Sankhya idea that we can understand that the role of this ego takes place, or that it's kind of secondary a little bit. Now, the thing that I don't like is that it doesn't give enough room for free will. There's another big issue. I don't want to go into this whole big issue, but Thakur very often he'll say everything is God's will. It's a very high idea. That I don't understand. That's a very high idea. And all of spiritual life is based on the fact and the belief that we have some ability to change ourselves. That we have, otherwise, everything is just a cycle. We have our samskaras. In Gita, also a very strong idea. We all act in accordance with our nature and our samskaras. But we have a little bit of wiggle room. You know this concept of wiggle room? Just a little, so we think, oh, we go a tiny little bit, next thing you know, we're free, that we can get out of it. So I like this idea that we have to take some responsibility for our action. And Thakur also says that. Yes, Divine Mother herself gives the sense of I, so we'll take responsibility for our action. So the type of karma yoga that relies on jnana yoga will be, let me remain as the witness. Let me try to feel that this is a play going on between external things and internal things, and I'm the witness, I'm not affected. See, iti matvana sajjate, the second part of that, if I really believe that I'm just the observer of all of this, I won't get attached to things. Now, there are certain elements to karma yoga in common. One is that we don't get attached to things. We don't long for the fruits of action, that we're willing to let go of things, that we hope that we can remain the same, whether successful or not successful, praise or blame. These all of these dvandvas, they're called in Vedanta, that these are a test for all of us. That are we able to have that type of detachment, that we won't be shaken if things don't go our way. Somebody says something and whole life is upside down. How dare they say that to me? That means that we're not established in the self. We have to learn to get established. So the type of karma yoga, it's not quite as sweet as the devotional type of karma yoga, but it's also very, very helpful that we're detached from everything, and we can combine them and do everything as an offering. So we're combining both this devotional attitude and this, we can say, philosophical type of attitude. So what we're really trying to do in spiritual life is combine all four of the yogas. This was Swamiji's belief, that, and not even to harmonize them, but to turn it into one. To turn it into one. Now, there'll be times when we're more, he says, if you're active, be a karma yogi. You sit for meditation and be a Raja yogi. So we can do it that way, but also we should be flexible enough in our understanding. And we should know that there are different times when we can rely on different spiritual attitudes that we have. So we can feel like Hanuman. Yes, this is Dasya Bhava. I am the servant of Rama. I can do anything in the name of Rama. At the same time, I know that I'm the witness of all my action. There doesn't have to be a contradiction that way. Now, I'm not going to go on too long because I'll leave time for questions and we're running a little bit late. Today is not just Mahalaya. This is the birthday of Swami Akhandanandiji. Okay, now, Swamiji changed karma yoga. I know, I've heard from some of our senior Swamis, sadhus, that Swamiji didn't teach karma yoga. Karma yoga is just a means of purifying the self and getting rid of these impurities so that we can practice. No, he changed this to worship. He raised it to a different type of level. Of course, this was all from Sri Ramakrishna. But this idea that practical Vedanta means this worship of the living God, that we see God dwelling in all beings, that it's a privilege for us to be able to serve them, that we shouldn't have any high attitude. This idea of compassion, I think you all know that story, this in Jivedaya, how Thakur said, how dare you talk about being compassionate to other people? Who are you to be compassionate? God dwells within them. You're just a little worm crawling on the ground. Who are you to stand up and say, the poor fellow, let me show compassion? No, God dwells within, feel the privilege to be able to worship them. This was the attitude that Swami Akhandanandaji had. And he was the first monk of our order, really, to do the type of work that Swamiji wanted. And he started in Khetri first, that working among these very outcast, low-caste children and everything, that it was so controversial that he was in danger of being killed. He had to flee. And he went to Sargachi, the Sargachi near Barampur in West Bengal. And there was a terrible famine at that time. And generally the people there, and it was very much mixed Hindu and Muslim, perhaps more of a Muslim area even. But it was the parents were such wonderful people that they would starve themselves to death so that the children would have something to eat. So that meant that there were orphans all over the place. And he took it upon himself, not as a social worker or anything, but he understood this idea of the living God, that God is dwelling with them. To serve them is the greatest privilege. And he himself, he wouldn't take food if they didn't have food. And to these orphans, they loved him there. Dandi Baba, they used to call him. That he was, and Swamiji was so proud of him. So he was the first one to do this type of what we call social service work. It's really worship. It's worship of the living God that way. The first one in our order to do that. And now the Ramakrishna order, of course, is known for all of the social service work that we do, relief work in hospitals and schools and dispensaries and all sorts of different things. So to have today the Mahalaya and Swami Akhandanandaji's birthday, and to be talking about the Karma Yoga and Swamiji's ideal of Karma Yoga, really I thought it's a very nice opportunity for all of us. So yeah, I'll stop here because I know we're running late, and I like questions. If anybody wants to ask, I prefer questions actually to just speaking. And it can be on anything, because we've covered all of the yogas this weekend. And if do we have a session after this with the three of us, or what is the forum session supposed to be? Okay, so that means that all of us can answer after that. Okay. Yes. Yeah, we can do it. But I think there are a few questions maybe just on this session, and then what time? Yeah. Tell me about the time now. 5 o'clock tea break. Okay, so let me take questions for 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll have this open forum for 20 minutes. Okay. Yeah.
The problem is for people like us, the desire, the mumukshatvam, the desire to attain that goal is not steady enough and not strong enough. So it is weak, it's very volatile, some days are good, some days are bad. And I mean, if that desire was more strong and steady, even if the progress was slow, one could make more progress.
Yeah, everyone heard the question that Thakur wants us to have that longing for God so strong that if we don't realize God, we're ready to cut our throats. It's not going to happen for most of us. Okay, so that's number one. And everyone has a different type of spiritual attitude. Really, we'll have monks in the order that are so devoted to Swamiji that they'll say, I don't care about my liberation or my anything, that I have a desire to serve others. I have a desire to surrender, do Thakur's work. This is fulfilling for me. This is the whole thing. If I get some experience, wonderful. But that's not why I became a monk. The whole thing is I want to be able to serve others. So everyone has a different type of attitude. Or some people, good devotees, they'll say, I'm happy just to be able to do everything as an offering. See, we have a whole devotional school that says mukti is a very low type of thing. That we have that song, Thakur used to sing this Bengali song, that Sri Krishna says, yeah, I don't mind, I can give mukti to anybody. Bhakti is a rare thing. So we have a whole school, there's a Vaishnava school in Bengal. This is Gaudiya Vaishnava, that this prema, love of God, is a Parama Purusha. Purushartha, this is, or the Panchama Purushartha, this is highest goal, is to just develop love of God. Bhakti Yoga will read. What is the goal of Bhakti Yoga? It's bhakti. It's not God realization even. Of course, we want that. Yeah, we won't turn it down. But if we can feel that we're transforming ourselves, we're becoming loving people, kind people, that we can serve other people, we can lead a dedicated life, lead a life according to an ideal. For most of us, that should be enough. Enough. And if we lead that type of life, the end of our life, we say, no, I haven't realized God. But it was, what a fulfilling life it was. What a wonderful, beautiful life that I was striving to the best of my ability, knowing that it may come, it may not come. But will I have any regrets? No. I have no regrets at all. This santosha will come. Contentment will come. Yes, I tried my best and I lived up to an ideal. I tried to do everything as an offering. I tried to put into practice all of these things. I'm content. So it's not that everyone each and every day will say, oh, unless I realize God, I'll cut my throat. Yeah. This vyakulata, what he calls that, is for last final stage. Yeah, very high type of thing. So we want to get a little bit of it, of course, we want that. Thakur says we can realize God in this very lifetime. We want that, strive for that. But we shouldn't think that that'll be a steady thing all of the time, and we need something else to hold on to. No, we don't feel it. This is my point. We don't feel that. But many people in the beginning, of course, feel that. That say when we become monks, we're very enthusiastic in the beginning and ready to do anything and everything for God realization. But then we realize that it's what they say, a marathon, not a sprint. And then we have to be realistic people and have to realize that there are other benefits and fruits. We were talking about Swami Swahananda, and his memory is so connected with this center. And probably some of you know, I was almost kind of like a son to him. Very, very close to Swami Swahananda. Stuart, many of you know. Anyhow, he used to say with meditation, for example, that we think the goal of meditation is samadhi. He used to say the real fruit of meditation is bhakti, is devotion. After years and years and years, we may think that no, my power of concentration hasn't really developed much, but we find that we've developed tremendous devotion through all of that practice. It's a very wonderful thing.
Maharaj had a meditation question actually, so.
Oh, okay. Okay, then we'll hold that. Is there any other questions on this particular topic? Yes.
Thank you for your excellent lecture. My question is that if our goal is for self-realization and happiness, is it a fleeting, is it a dynamic thing that for every age, every time, every stage in life, this changes, or there's a permanent thing when we never arrive, we just keep on striving in any ways, whether it's jnana or karma or bhakti or jnana, because we know what is the ultimate or what is or where we can stop or it can stop. We don't even know that. So is it basically an idealistic view, or it's basically we just keep on trying? Is that the final?
Yeah, how do we know when we've achieved something in spiritual life? And yes, Rami Krishna, he says that keep going forward, go forward. But I think that this idea of contentment starts to come at some point in life. This Holy Mother, she says that contentment is the greatest treasure that we have in life. There's no treasure in life comparable to this contentment. Now, to the exact opposite of vyakulata. But this contentment means content with whatever we have in life now. We can have that longing for God realization and this contentment. They go hand in hand. The more we say that I only care for God, the less I worry about. Did I get good food today? Was this convenient, inconvenient? We won't care about that. But this contentment also comes from knowing that we're doing our best. There's a different type of contentment that comes from God realization. That we don't know who's going to get that. We have faith, at least I have faith, that if the final moment it'll come. But before that, we don't know. Holy Mother says that you have faith that those who have come to Sri Ramakrishna and the Holy Mother, we can say, that they'll be there for them at the end. That she's very clear about that. Some people said, well, you mean this is their absolute last lifetime? Maybe there'll be one more. She said, not definitely, but yes. But if you want to have some realization before that, you have to strive very hard. Now, that striving very hard, then again, we get back to grace. Some will get it, some won't get it. We don't know whether some scholars are there. But my point is that if we're sincere and we're genuine and we're not cheating ourselves, we're really doing the best that we can, really trying to live up to these ideals, trying to love everybody, trying to see God dwelling in others, having a spiritual practice, not making excuses, all of that, then some contentment will come. And then we'll say, now, Thakur, it's in your hands. We've done everything we can. And then we get to this Sharanagati. See, not everything ends with this Vyakola Dasam, ends with Sharanagati. That now it's up to you. Now I surrender everything to you, everything's in. So this is the final message of Gita. That give up everything, come to me for refuge. Yeah, I'll take care of all of your, don't worry about any bad things you've done in the past. I'll free you from all of that. So I don't know, it's not a very good answer because every stage of life is a little different, it's true. And every individual is a little bit different. And we reach a different point when we get older in life, we start to look back and understand that all of the things that had to be done for God realization are in the past. Even Swami Brahma and others, they say, there's a certain period when we're young, is the time really to hit it. Yeah, up to 35, sometimes they say. But then after that, it's enough if we practice smarana manana. This is Sharan Manan. They say constant recollection of God. See, we get older, even to sit for meditation, the body hurts, aches and pains, this and that. You saw I couldn't even sit yesterday. Usually I sit for the puja. I had to sit in a chair. So we accept that, and as we get older, we can't do all of the things we did earlier. But some devotion comes, something deeper comes, some real love of God comes within. Some feeling that I belong to them, they belong to me, that they'll take care of me. So the progress in spiritual life is not always what we think it will be, but it's real and it comes. We have to have that faith. All it depends on our sincerity, the most important thing. Okay. Oh, okay.
This is a karma question. Suppose someone does some good work. One can take the approach that basically I'm serving God, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see God in everyone and basically I'm serving God. Other approach is basically saying, okay, I'm just an instrument. Thakur is doing his work through me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the so-called the jontro or machine.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one who is the operator. And he's doing me a favor, so he's getting the work through me so that I can get the benefit of the good sanskar. What's the difference between the two actually?
There are different attitudes.
Right.
See, one, we can say that I do what God makes me do. Okay.
Right.
Duryodhana also said that. It can be hypocrisy. Right. We don't know about that one. But that still, I have a sense of I. I still have a sense of I. This Sankhya ideal is that I don't do anything at all. Nakinchit karomi. Even while walking, standing, talking, everything like that, this feeling that I'm only the witness. That is, body and mind are doing all of it. That's a different type of attitude that we have. So some depend on the path that we're on, the nature that we have, to feel that we do everything with the attitude of the servant. This Dasya Baba, Thakur liked that idea. To be honest, he liked the idea of two things, child of God and servant of God. But when it comes to action, this feeling that I'm doing everything as a servant, the beautiful attitude. Swamiji had that attitude. Sometimes he's looked upon Thakur as his friend. We know the Sakya Baba, that's unusual. But generally this idea that he had that beautiful Sanskrit verse that we can crush the stars to atoms. We can unhinge the universe. Don't you know who we are? We are the servants of Sri Krishna. So strong ego, but servant ego. So Thakur says that not only doesn't that type of ego harm you or bind you, it frees you. So for the Karma Yoga, from one point of view, we need a very strong ego. Yes, I can do anything in the name of Thakur Mother. I can do anything. Pray to them that there will be no attachment, no ego, no pride or anything like that. Others are more difficult to think that, no, I'm not doing anything, or there's no I there. Yeah, it's very difficult, that type of idea. But to do everything as an offering and to feel that, not that I'll never say everything I say is Mother's words to me, of course, and it's ridiculous. But I can feel that God does dwell within, and this Antaryami as the inner guide, the inner controller. And when I try to think what is the right thing to do or wrong thing to do, I think we have the ideal. Last night I talked about this ideal. The ideal that Thakur represents, Mother represents, Swamiji represents. We have the blueprint. We just have to think, how would they like us to behave? See, I don't know God's will, but I can say that, yes, I see it. Thakur says, this is the way you should behave. Swamiji says, do everything without any personal claim for it. Do everything with perfect unselfishness. That's our blueprint. So if we can do that, it's good enough for me to say, yes, I can feel that at least I'm not doing anything out of selfish motive. That I won't say God's will, it's a little too high, but still, I can say that I feel secure that this is the way I should behave in the world, because these are my ideals, these are my role models. Okay, now let's, all three of us go up, and then we can have questions on all of the talks. Yeah.
Maharaj, you didn't tell us that your experience with prayer. That you should tell everybody after his talk. After his talk.
Oh.
That's your experiment.
No.
You told the story a long time ago. One time to see how the prayers is effective. So you told all your brothers in Belur to pray for you.
No, that wasn't me. I didn't do that.
Yeah, huh? You told that at one time, unknowing to you, they would pray for you.
No, I would never ask them to do that. I don't remember that. Maybe somebody else did that. No. Chanting. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, good. Every year, and this is a tradition that started with Swami Swahananji many years ago, that during this Mahalaya period, that everyone pledges, you've done it here before, to repeat Jai Sri Durga a certain number of times a day. And it's two things. One, it shouldn't be in replace of your regular spiritual practice. This has to be in addition to it. And it shouldn't just be, while you're walking and shopping and doing this, you really sit down and do it. So you're just adding something to your practice, and you can choose how many you want to do. You can do 10, you can do 100, you can do 1,000. If you do 1,000 a day, then for 10 days, it's 10,000. Everything gets added up. 100,000, Swami Swanji said, I don't know where he gets that from, but 100,000 is the same punya, the same merit that one would get from the performance of a full Durga Puja comes when the Jai Sri Durga is repeated 10,000 times. So it all gets added up together. So there's a sign-up sheet in back, and anybody who's watching on their computer screen, they can email the center with the number of japa that they want to pledge, and then that'll all get added up. Okay, thank you.
Yes, Sudipta has created a form, so we do have a form, and you'll be able to fill that out online also. At our
You have to send the link. You have to
Yes.
send the link to them.
We will post the link at the WhatsApp group, so you can follow that, and also on our website.
No, it's not in the website.
No, not yet. We will.
I don't know where the link is.
So at least on the
Okay. I was given a microphone. Maharaj, I was just thinking, it is to both of it. It's mostly in your topic. Premission, I like the premission on his suggestion. He said that until unless you have a Buddha, do not try to get into yogas, because that is what will happen. Your mind will not be free to do the yogas properly. So Buddha means your material growth, to some extent spiritual growth. Until unless you achieve that one, like you do not have to worry about your food. You do not have to do this. Physical Buddha is necessary before you can delve into a Raja Yoga. That really helps. That so many people try to jump into meditation or other things. They are not physically or mentally capable of handling the power that will come from doing the proper yoga. So he suggested them, until unless you have done your Ubhuda part, then don't go get into it. That is the introduction of prevention on the knee. But the question that is not a question. The question is that you were talking about what path we will take. In the end of the Gita, Shabbatavana was telling that depending on what type of Shattvatama Raju we have a different tapasya that are easier for us to follow. So how do you know that basically our nature, which of those, like Bachik tapasya, Manasik tapasya, all those things are done, those can be done by everybody. But it still depends on the Shattvatama Raja is in your basic nature. So how do I look into it in ourselves so that we know which of the tapasya will be optimum for us?
Let me just address the first part of that, because this idea of preparation. Yeah, there's a very beautiful article. It was a talk by Swami Budeshananji. Called the First Sutra. Can you hear? Okay. And he emphasizes that, of course, we have to have all of these ethical moral virtues. This is number one. But the preparation for the different paths is also different. For the Jnana Yoga, it's a very high bar. This is why in Gita and Thakur himself, he says that this is not for everybody, that one really has to have tremendous field of renunciation, disassociation from the body idea, so many different things. But for Bhakti Yoga, the bar is very, very low. One has to be a good person, ethical person, sincere person, but all they need is this some genuine longing, some sincerity. Otherwise, there's no high or low, there's no adhikara stuff or anything. You have to be sincere. But how do we know which path to follow? So there's the second question.
Yeah, because some of them are always very active, some of them like to meditate.
Yeah.
And there are different tapasas for each of them.
Yeah.
And these are discussions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that Thakur says, he gives the example of the mother, cooking different preparations, for the child. So, but there's two different things. One is what we like. The other is what we can digest. Now, one problem very often in spiritual life, especially with the Jnana Yoga, and this is Dvaita Vedanta, that is very appealing and very attractive to people, but can they really digest it? It's very difficult to really digest this idea that I'm one with God, that I'm not the body, mind, and senses and everything. So we have to see not only what appeals to us, but what we can, what's good for us. So how do we do it? Guru will help in everything, but anyhow, let me see if the others can answer.
No, he won't answer.
Okay. So next.
Yeah, I had a question. Sorry. You want to go ahead?
Whenever this word meditation comes up, it creates a little confusion for me. And I've asked this question many times, I'm still not able to grasp the difference. The point I'm going to make is meditation takes different forms, as you know. You know, it's so-called these mindful meditation, there are different sorts of meditation there. Self-development stuff that happens here on this country also talks about creative visualization and all the affirmation, everything, which was part of your guided meditation. So my question is, someone who does spiritual practices like japa and everything, Day2 kind of stuff, how does that, how can you incorporate meditation in that kind of thing in our life? Okay, that's number one. And the second question is, in the fact is, ultimately, what is, if the realization is, if the goal is to relax our mind and also create positive influence in others, how can we basically incorporate all this stuff in a one-size-fits-all kind of situation that can serve multiple purposes? That's really the question.
Even the scientists who study meditations, even among them, till recently had no common framework of how many types of meditations are there. Now they have developed a framework of defining how many types of meditation. Basically, they say there are two types of meditations: simple meditation, complex meditation. Names are really misleading here. Simple meditation can be of three types. One is concentrative. You try to put your attention onto something, maybe an image, a mantra, your breath, or anything like that. You are trying to put your attention onto that. They are calling it concentrative meditation. Second one is ECS, emotion-centered meditation or concentration. That is, you are trying to generate a kind of emotion, like a bhakti to some deity. Not only you are thinking about the deity, but you are also generating some emotion. And also is the loving kindness meditation. I am trying to generate compassion in my heart. It is called ECS, emotion-centered meditation. S is not meditation, something else I forgot. Third is cessation meditation. That is, the goal is to stop the functioning of the mind, which comes in Zen Buddhism, Tibetan Buddhism, some Theravada Buddhism. These are all called simple meditation. Why simple? Because only one method is applied. Another is complex. Complex meditation means there could be combination of any of these three. And guess what? The meditation we get during our Diksha, it combines all of them. All of them. We don't just sit and start thinking about God. First we try to pray for all, let all be happy. Let me be happy, I be happy. Let my seed be strong. Let my limbs be strong. Let everybody be happy. That is how we start our meditation. Right? Is not it? It is emotion-centered. Second, we go to concentration. We try to focus. Mind goes, we bring back to the mantra and the image. But we are not only simply concentrating on the mantra. We are also trying to generate a bhava, a mood for Thakur. Thakur is sitting in our heart and having compassionately, kindly looking at me, loving me. So our meditation is all inclusive. Have faith in it, keep on doing, we'll find all the solutions all come from practice itself. Thank you.
I just have one thing to say about Tapas's question, the second part of if someone is, say, practicing non-dualism and they're really not qualified, they really shouldn't be there.
I think if they start practicing meditation, since getting into meditation, they will eventually find their own level. Say, if they're really a bhakta and they're doing, Jnani meditation, I think it's eventually as they meditate, it's going to, change into what they're really qualified for. All right, that's my thought on it.
What happens is that what is being applied to, see, we are all suppose and do activities to suppose so that whoever you want to give money to, he makes sure that they get solution. And the second one is which I did not do. I mean, when I read it, is that common priority that all of us are here. That is, Thakur has chosen us to listen to guidance and follow it. But in spite of that, there is a problem. The problem is that like a universal solution. The solution for a kidney is not what the solution for liver. So you have to choose what medicine is to take, which we should order. We are like that, as still in the one body. Each of us have our own fact, and generalization does not come. Each of us have to struggle. And ask that question to additional. And we get it 4 minutes back. Like a stupid, I didn't write it down. Parvadamananji and I went to see him when we here. Okay, the story, okay, what he told us. How do you know? Stay in your shadar.
Is what?
Stay in your shadar.
Right.
Then I asked, Maharaj, how do you know my shadar? And he said, it gave me 4 reasons that I didn't have to talk. That's it. You know your shadar now because it's innate in it. You don't have to struggle for it. You have a skill in it. And you have a love for it. So
Can you take that question offline because I think that a lot of people waiting in the line to ask questions. Is that okay?
yeah, I'm just taking this from general, or it's help for everybody.
No.
Hi. I had a question for Swami Ishadhananandaji. That was a great speech. I missed the first part, but the second part was excellent. So you mentioned about manipulative persons, right? So meditation is an answer to the problem of the manipulative person, letting it go and everything. But what would be your solution or suggestion to a late 20-year-old or early 30s who has not had the experience in their lives like a 50-year-old or a 60-year-old? How do they tackle people with manipulative nature or talk with them or interact with them so that they become better person and they try to understand and forgive and move on in their lives? And the second question is related to everything that's been spoken and what Ratnadi spoke yesterday, that respect and love is a two-way street. So what would be your suggestion to everyone? Like this is more towards everyone, to all the Swamis and Mataji. Like what would be the suggestion to everyone here so that we become better version of ourselves, so that we learn to respect each other, irrespective of their age or their culture or their background?
Oh, what a 20-year-old or 30-year-old do? How should they tackle manipulative people? First of all, how to recognize the manipulative people. That's interesting. If you can understand before they become manipulative. First of all, they will jump on you to help you. So that is called the sunny side of helping. Sunny side or something? Oh, sunny side of manipulation appears as a help. you will see that you are not seeking their help. They will start giving you, gifts and things you don't need. They will jump on you. Anyway, even if you have missed that, and now you are facing a manipulative person, the best thing is not to get manipulated. Okay, treat them very politely, because you cannot change the person so quickly, and keep a safe distance. Don't get manipulated by them. At the same time, in your heart of heart, try to see that person is in difficulty. Is actually that usually manipulative people are very insecure people. Very insecure. They don't have not got enough love. They are seeking love, attention all the time. So actually they are really needy people, too needy people, but we cannot satisfy their needs. So we have to be at a safe distance. We should not be manipulated by them. At the same time, the real attitude in your heart of heart, it is difficult, but we should know that our ideal should be to have compassion for that person. That what they are doing actually is out of need, out of insecurity. Okay. And the next question was respect for each other. Love and respect for each other, right? Love and respect for each other.
Yeah, love and respect, and so that everyone feels inclusive in a center like VVCC, so that everyone feels welcome and have open discussions and open-minded nature. Like, supposedly I'm giving an example from A to E. So you can go to the route from A to E via A to B to C to D to E. But instead of going through that route, which can introduce gossips and rumor mills, can that person at A talk directly to person at E, so that those rumor mills and gossips are avoided and we all move forward and move ahead in our lives?
Yes, I don't know. I know of a method. I don't know whether it will work here or not. You can think about it. You can take a day in a month or once in 2 months when everybody will sit face to face, like in a circle. And whosoever has complained against anybody, tell it openly. It's a culture. It takes time to build this culture. But once you have built this culture, it will feel uncomfortable at the first. But you have to also keep the aim that why we are doing this to actually improve ourselves and aim for the center. When you can let it happen, everybody have their say openly, freely, give their feedback, you will see most of their problems will be solved. You know what are the best companies to work in the Silicon Valley? Do you know what they aspire for? Netflix. Netflix also is the company which does not have any rule. Why? Because their CEO understood if good people are working together for a good cause, only one thing will solve all the problems. If everybody is encouraged to give feedback to everybody. So if you join Netflix today, you can give feedback to the CEO tomorrow in front of all the employees of Netflix that you did this, which I think, anyway, there are rules for feedback. That also has to be set. The rule is how to give a feedback, how to receive a feedback. The rule of giving a feedback is you have to tell how it could be better. Just you don't have to tell that it did not work well. You have to come with a better version of what you want. This is the one rule of feedback. Secondly, when you are being given feedback, even if you don't like it, accept it. And the rules too should be, I hear you, but let me see what can I do about it. So I don't know whether it is a bold idea or not, but it has worked. And I was fortunate to be in an ashrama where I joined. It was the rule there. The newly joined brahmachari can call a meeting. If you have joined today, you can call a meeting tomorrow. You have something to say against some monk or some idea you don't like. And everybody with open heart and love and compassion, they used to hear us. And then they used to sometimes clear our misconceptions. look what you have told, you are seeing it this way, but actually it is this. Then, oh my God, my whole idea was wrong. But the way, and seniors have to play a bigger role in it, because ours is a top-down society all the time. So when the seniors show openness in receiving feedback and very openly expresses their faults, even their own faults, and open to change their self, I think it can create a very good culture. I don't know whether it will work or not, but worth trying.
Thank you. I think that's
Maraji, can I continue with the point what you mentioned? And yeah, and morning, I think I was discussing with you the point what you mentioned from Netflix. The culture what we wanted to bring, that everyone should have an open mindedness. I think this is the point what I was sharing with you very informal way in the morning today. And we realized in our team, in my team especially, we had a lot of elderly people and our group of people thinking everything we know. Then we came up with a culture like what morning I was sharing with you. Monday is mindful Monday, Tuesday that thoughtful Tuesday, and Wednesday create a wonderful Wednesday, and Thursday is a thankful Thursday, and Friday we wanted all the junior people, I mean who are new joiners, to present the factfulness to us, I mean to all the guidance people and the members, and we really saw that has come good way rather than going for multiple meetings and all these things. And I just thought of sharing the stories because morning what we were discussing, and we tried to copy the culture from the Netflix one.
But one thing, remember that I don't want to be associated with Netflix. Okay, there is a Swami who came and taught us about only Netflix and Netflix. Okay, and Netflix is an example, please. Okay.
Should we make this the last one? It's now 5 past. This question. Okay.
Thank you for the beautiful talks. My name is Kayor. I think some of my question is answered, but this is more related to the Gyan Yoga part. I always felt like I struggled with that. That was not something inherent with me to seek the knowledge. And then just seeing that there's so much contradiction in the Gyan Yoga. Is it meant as in a way to, because of the many contradiction and just the amount of knowledge that's available, we in our lifetime may get 0.01 or 2.02% of it to actually absorb it, to actually implement it. Is that meant to, in a way, for us to recognize the amount of, if I'm articulating it right, but just to know how small we are in the whole scheme of everything? Is that meant to be contradictory for that reason? If I articulated my question.
Yeah, I would say that the Jnana Yoga is based on paradox, not contradiction. If we analyze what we're trying to do, this lower self is trying to realize that it has no independent existence. So then who is it that's doing the realization? We run into all these different types of, but everything gets resolved at the end. So it's not ultimately a paradox. This Jnana Yoga, it has to appeal to the individual. It has to be very natural to the individual. And my feeling is that the element of Jnana Yoga that is extremely important is what is the nature of the self. This question of what is the nature of this external universe, I think is a big trap. Is it real? Is it unreal? Is it a projection of the mind and everything? I think it's a dead end type of thing. Thakur himself, he says, don't get too involved with these types of questions because it's all what they call paroksha. It is all Paroksha is only the nature of the self. Everything else, what is the nature of the external world, that philosophers will always argue about that. That there's no way to prove everything we understand through the mind. That doesn't say that it's not real out there or that it's real, whether we're dreaming, not dreaming. To me, the real purpose of the Jnana Yoga is to analyze the self within and to disidentify with this egocentric self. So it's not just a theoretical type of thing. There's very practical elements to it, and we free ourselves from all of these types of attachments and free ourselves from attachment to this physical body that we're so concerned about how we look and how we feel and all of that. So a tremendous amount of freedom comes through this Jnana Yoga. I love this idea of Jnana Yoga, but for most people, exclusive Jnana Yoga, which doesn't allow too much of this devotional feeling, that the emphasis is on impersonal aspect of God, that it's just for a rare type of person. There are many people like that. No idea of personal God. Doesn't appeal to them. Jnana Yoga is good for them. Yeah, that's fine. But Sri Ramakrishna, he gives equal emphasis. This is really the beauty of his understanding of things, to this impersonal absolute reality and this personal God as not two separate entities, two aspects of the one ultimate reality. If we accept one without the other, we're not getting the full weight. We accept the other without the first, we're not getting the full weight. He says this, so this consciousness and Shakti together, this is gives the fullest type of understanding. God, both personal and impersonal. So it doesn't leave anything out, and it still allows us to focus on that aspect that appeals to us more. So this Jnana Yoga is not, we shouldn't just say we're not qualified for it, we're not interested in it. We have to understand the benefits of it, the limitations of it, and if we can use this to sustain us and give us conviction about things, then it's very helpful. Can it take us to the ultimate truth? This vichara, this analyzing everything. So again, I'll refer to Swami Bhudeshanandaji. He was, in many respects, the final word for me. Brilliant intellect. He said through this self-analysis, the vichara, what we call vichara, it can never take you to the ultimate truth. It can eliminate all false ideas. Ultimate truth will reveal itself on its own. It's beyond mind and thought. But it's helpful to get rid of this false identification. And it's not, as I say, not just a philosophical thing. We suffer because of it. We suffer because we're so identified with our personality and with our religion and our politics and everything. How people identify with the politics in this country so much, they can't be in the same room with somebody else. So it allows us to transcend these things. And when we transcend them, we also feel our oneness with everybody, because we're getting rid of all the superficial things that separate us. So there are many, many benefits. I don't want anybody to think, if I emphasize Bhakti Yoga or something else, that I don't see the beauty. I came to Vedanta only because of this Jnana Yoga. That was the only thing. I wasn't interested in religion or anything, but because of the beauty of it. But then you realize the heart expands and how it doesn't conflict with anything. So I don't think that ultimately there's any contradiction at all. That we just have to understand seeing things from a different point of view and helpful for some people and other things, that at the end is a beautiful harmony of all these ideas.
According to my observation, all the conflicts and these, what do you say it? Contradictions that appear in Jnana Yoga is because we have not experienced anything in deep meditation. Unless we have had at least once a deep meditation where our state of consciousness was altered, we cannot understand what the Upanishads or Vedanta is speaking. So we will be always intellectually speculating about all of this. And as long as we'll be intellectually speculating about the truth, there will be always contradiction and paradox. You have to see You have to hear thousands of YouTube videos. Ultimately, you will get more confused. That's why it's very important that we pay attention to the preliminary qualifications of Vedanta. Sadhana Chatushtaya. At least some amount of samadhi. There is one thing called samadhana. That is, I have the practice of recollecting of my mind in meditation. These are the when you have this sadhana chatushtaya, actually 10 practices. I'm not going into details, all of you know. Unless you have some of these 10 practices, Shravana should not start even. That is, we are as if thinking, why to go for the elementary school if we have to go to the class, grade 5, grade 6 or 11, 12, skipping the elementary school. That is the root of all the contradictions. So I am not saying that unless you are totally fit, you have mastered all the 10 disciplines, then only Shravana start. But remember, those are equally, if not more important than Shravana. If without these practices, we do only Shravana, we are adding confusion into confusion.
I dabbled in this YouTube business during COVID days. Okay? I used to get a lot of conflicts and ask a lot of questions. One day, Tapas made a comment critiquing my all these questions, but he was damn right. I'm sorry to use the word. Because he said, unless you clear your mind to practices, you'll never be able to reconcile the conflicts. The key is to basically, the water is turbid, and you're trying to sweep through all the water at the bottom. It will never happen. You have to make an effort to clean up the water, then we can see the bottom. And he was right on. He apologized to me, but I said, you are absolutely right, because I have to do other things, clear up my mind, then other conflicts are going to be actually resolved. So it is very true.
Maharaj, we have our little ones ready with. Thank you first, of course, for coming and giving us invaluable help. We feel small every day, and we feel a little better when you come. We have the 3 little ones ready with their bouquets and pranams. So Maharaj, please accept those. We have tea break. And
Hey, stay there for a photo.
Yes, yes. Yes.
so we have tea break, and 30 minutes we should try to come back.